Oh my god! Zombie attack!
Good boy. Shut the door and everything.
I didn't mean it that way, but...
Don't let them hurt you, okay?
Yes, sir.
It's game time.
We're back, brother, and once again brought to you by PaintballToTheEnd.com.
Welcome to 10-Minute March. I am Jeff.
And I'm Paul.
This is episode number 38. And today we will be discussing what we call the Victory Road to WrestleMania. What we'll be discussing today is our picks and predictions and thoughts on WrestleMania 27 and what exactly happened at Victory Road 2 weeks ago for TNA and Jeff Hardy and Sting especially. And with our beginning thoughts on WrestleMania picks, I will go to Paul.
Well, as we've said in the previous episode, we weren't that excited about WrestleMania, and I'm still kind of iffy about it, but of course with The Rock being there, and of course Triple H and Taker, it kind of gives it more of an exotic feel, which I really like. That being said, there's several matches where I'm kind of like, whatever. But we're going to start with Rey Mysterio and Cody Rhodes. And honestly, I have no idea about this feud. It seems kind of rushed to me.
Rey Mysterio hit Cody Rhodes with the 619 and broke his nose. And then Dusty Rhodes comes out on SmackDown and does a little segment with him where he makes Cody Rhodes apologizes. Then he turns on Rey Mysterio and helps Cody Rhodes beat him up. So,
wow, I want to pay money for WrestleMania now.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway,
just okay. Whatever.
I guess this could go either way, but I picked Rey to win.
Yeah, I don't really think Cody Rhodes is WrestleMania material quite yet. I mean, call me crazy, but to me this is like a Judgment Day pay-per-view kind of match.
Yeah.
This is one that could go either way to me. It just depends on how if they want to start pushing Cody Rhodes, dashing Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, I don't like his gimmick. No offense to Cody Rhodes, but I just don't like his gimmick.
Yeah, I mean, I've never been a big fan of Cody Rhodes or Ted DiBiase. I just thought they were a little too skinny for my taste, but that's just me.
Yeah.
They never seemed like the main event type. So I'm going to go Ray wins on this one, just due to the Dusty Rhodes factor. And Dusty Rhodes pissed Ray off. Okay.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler versus Michael Cole. Michael Cole has Jack Swagger in his corner, with Stone Cold Steve Austin as special guest referee. Jerry Lawler's got to win this one. I mean, there's not much doubt about that.
Yeah.
Jerry Lawler's the only one who's wrestled, and this will be his big WrestleMania moment that he's been talking about for weeks now.
Not to mention you have Stone Cold Steve Austin as the ref.
Yeah, that's pretty much going to weigh in Michael Cole's favor, or Jerry's favor as well. One comment I had about this is, aren't announcer matches usually like undercard matches on lesser pay-per-views?
Mm-hmm.
Just my thought, but you know.
Yeah, I don't know. I should be more interested in it because I'd love to see Jerry Lawler in a match at least once at WrestleMania since he's never, had one. But I don't know.
Couldn't they have got a better opponent for him than Michael Cole? Though? Seriously, if you're going to have one match at WrestleMania, do you really want it to be against
Why not have it with
Cole?
Jack Swagger?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's in Cole's corner. Why not have it with him and give Swagger a little bit of rub,
Yeah.
Got to wrestle Jerry Lawler's last match.
Yeah, exactly. Or, have Lawler beat Swagger and carry on from, I don't know.
I don't know. It just seems wrong.
Yeah, announcer matches are garbage anyway. Why put this in a WrestleMania?
Yeah. We're just going down the list because we don't know what the main event will be, although it's probably going to be Cena and Miz. But the next match is Orton and CM Punk. And this is another match where I love both wrestlers, but I don't really care about the match. And maybe I should care, but I don't.
Right.
And to me, it seems like a travesty that neither one's kind of semi-main event.
Yeah.
To me, they're not getting a lot of attention like they should. And it just seems like the feud was kind of rushed together. You had Orton not beat The Miz at the Royal Rumble, and then he's in the Rumble, but he doesn't win it anyway, so he lost twice in one night, and then you have him in some undercard match.
Right. For probably your most over star on the roster right now.
Yeah.
Orton is more over than Cena is right now.
Oh, yeah.
And I like this match, too. I like Randy Orton versus CM Punk. It should be a good, solid match.
I think, yeah.
Paul has Punk winning.
Yeah.
And this is another one that, to me, could just go either way.
Yeah.
For S's and G's, I want to say that Randy Orton wins. These are two guys that should be in Money in the Bank. And this is one match that is really going to make me miss Money in the Bank. Because, like he said, the build-up to this feud was kind of rushed. It didn't seem to get as much attention as it should.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they have a match on Raw every week, him and a member of Nexus, but that's about it. Everything's being overdone by, or overshadowed by The Rock. And this is one case where, okay, let's put these guys in Money in the Bank. You know, let's bring that back. That was the most interesting part to me, was just trying to pick the winner of that. And that was as fun as anything. We used to we would have pots during WrestleMania and say, okay, everybody throw in $5 and pick a guy.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever won, that guy would, you know, it's fun like that.
Yeah.
Undertaker versus Triple H. Should be a massive classic.
Yeah.
And like somebody said, they're not bringing up WrestleMania 17 in this at all.
Yeah.
Which I totally disagree with. I totally think that's where you should go. I love the way they're promoting it so far with interviewing different stars and everything. That's the way to promote a match. But you need to bring up 17.
Yeah. I think Lance Storm said that on his website, that they didn't bring up 17, which he thought was kind of odd.
Well, when I watch Raw online, people are bringing it up in the chat room. Why aren't they talking about 17? Well, that's me.
I don't know. Maybe because he was American Badass back then. I don't know. But, like,
exactly.
To me, it seems kind of odd that they wouldn't bring that up, the Triple H Taker match at 17, which was an awesome match. It was really brutal, too. Because Triple H took that. They went everywhere. And Triple H took that bad, I think it was a choke slam off of that rafter thing or whatever it was, onto that. It was like a hard floor, and I was like, oh. You know, I don't know if it was cement or not, but it was, you know, you could hear it. But I picked Taker to win. I mean, I think it's going to be a close call, but I mean, if Shawn didn't beat Taker, I don't know if I could believe Triple H beating him, to be fair, although it could go either way.
Yeah, there's been talk of having Shawn Michaels return, and, you know, that would lead me to believe that maybe Shawn will return at WrestleMania and help Triple H, or even cost Triple H, who knows.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think Undertaker wins. I don't think Triple H isn't the right guy to break the
No.
It's just not the right guy.
Plus, I mean, he was gone so long from injury, and he comes back, and there's talk of him, you know, taking over some duties backstage.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it just doesn't seem like he's the right guy. I don't think Triple H would want to anyway.
No, I don't either. John Morrison, Trish Stratus, and Snooki. Really? Versus Dolph. Didn't we go off on this a couple weeks ago about making an appearance on TV?
Yes.
Really? Versus Dolph Ziggler and Lay Cool. Okay. We'll go over this just for the hell of it. Why is John Morrison involved in this? What a lethal waste of talent this is.
Yeah.
This is another one where there should be a Money in the Bank and put John Morrison in it, because this is a total waste of John Morrison's talent.
Yeah.
He should be going after a title at least at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I mean, are we freaking kidding?
I wanted him to win the Rumble, but, you know, whatever.
Yeah, he was my dark horse pick to win the Rumble. Morrison's team wins, duh. You know, obviously.
Yeah.
Just because Snooki's there. Can we please stop using the celebrities at WrestleMania? I mean, really? Big Show had a broken nose because of Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah.
I mean, the Lawrence Taylor thing, I didn't like it back then, and honestly, I still don't, especially main eventing. But really, I mean, let's stop using... Vince McMahon has already pretty much told the world that the whole reason The Rock is coming back is because he needs drawing power for WrestleMania, which I've said it didn't feel like at the time. But looking at this card, yeah, you needed it.
Absolutely.
There are still a lot of us hardcore wrestling traditionalists out there who don't really need to see Snooki in the ring. Matter of fact, I really don't need to see Snooki at all.
They should have one of the other divas instead, but whatever.
Yeah,
you know.
Exactly.
But yeah, I picked Morrison's team to win too. Alberto Del Rio versus Edge. A man I did not want to win the Rumble.
No.
And I said it made SmackDown look like weak sauce.
Yes.
You know, I picked Edge to win. I guess on the basis that I don't feel Del Rio is nearly ready, and there's going to be a lot of pressure on him. So,
A ton.
Also, it also has something to do with my main event pick later. But I thought Edge being the babyface, I picked him to win for that reason mainly. Not just because of the fact that I think Del Rio sucks, but you know.
Well, I'm not down on Del Rio in the ring, but and to me this is another toss-up because you never know where Vince's mind is with stuff like this. You don't think Sheamus is ready to win the title, he wins the title. You know, you don't think a guy like Yokozuna, you know, you go back to The Undertaker, you know, they all won it very early. Sheamus did last year, year before. So you never really know where Vince's mind is when it comes to things like this.
Yeah.
I think Edge wins, but I wouldn't be surprised if Alberto does.
Yeah.
Just to shake things up a little bit, which they really need right now. Is Del Rio the right guy to shake things up with? I don't know. But, you know, and that'll be a conversation for a different day about, you know, what young superstars do they have to push right now. You know, they've had MVP, they've had Shelton, they've had talented guys, Carlito in the ring in recent years. Some of them got pushed, and for some reason they weren't successful. As successful as I think their talent should have made them.
Yeah.
But we'll just see. That's another conversation for another day. But yeah, I'm picking Edge to win as well. Daniel Bryan Danielson versus Sheamus in a U.S. title match that was just signed like this past week.
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Last minute.
I'll give them credit. At least they're putting the U.S. title up for grabs. I don't see the Intercontinental belt being
Again. Which I don't think has been contested since 18, I think.
18, yep. I think you're right. I think it may have been
RVD and
once.
Regal, I think.
Yeah, it may have been contested once because I remember, but I'm probably wrong about that. I'm picking Sheamus as well. I'm picking. You know who you're picking?
Yeah, I'm picking Sheamus. Yeah, I'm picking him to retain the belt. It's kind of two reasons. One's kind of the less logical reason, I guess. On one hand,
it's not because he's a better wrestler, right?
No, not at all. Certainly not because I think he's a better wrestler. I think, you know, here he was a young champion, and then all of a sudden he kind of got, I don't want to say put in the doghouse, but all of a sudden he was kind of losing a lot, but then he wins King of the Ring, and they're kind of inching him way back to the top. But instead of going straight to the top, he gets the U.S. belt. And I think it would greatly help him if, I think they should keep the U.S. belt on him and kind of keep him working with more of the veterans, or at least more of the more experienced wrestlers. So that way they get him ready to get the belt again. R-Truth, for example.
Jomo.
Yeah. On the other hand, also because I think, because I am a Daniel Bryan Danielson fan. So with that note, I think he's ready. I think he needs to work on promos and stuff. But I think as far as work rate, he's pretty much at main event level.
He's definitely there.
So I think keeping the belt off of Daniel allows him to work more with main event talent. Maybe not get the belt right away, but at least work with some of the big stars.
Right.
You know. So I think that would give him more room to do that. So that's kind of why the other reason I picked Sheamus to retain, because it allows Daniel Bryan Danielson to go to main event status a little bit more.
Right.
So
I think Daniel Bryan Danielson would be. I think he should. Here's a thought that just crossed my mind. I think maybe he should go to SmackDown and work with Ray.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be awesome. Ray versus Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Those would be some matches.
You'd have 5-star matches.
And you've got some other quality veterans like Kane and The Undertaker and Edge on that show that could work with Daniel Bryan really well. On the Raw side, not so much. You have your R-Truth and you have your John Morrison, and those would be great. But once you get at the main event, all you got are brawlers and punchers and kickers. Yeah, I think Sheamus wins and retains. Yep. And I would like to see what he says come true. Sheamus work with some veterans that are on that mid-card level, and Daniel Bryan kind of move up to the main event.
Plus, it's a heel win, and I was trying to balance it out more.
Right. Plus, it's a heel win. John Cena versus The Miz.
This is actually a tougher one than you might think.
Right. It is, especially since you've got the unknown card of The Rock. Rumors have been flying about The Rock maybe participating in the match, making it a triple threat. I've always thought he would be the special guest referee, which, if that happens, Cena's going to win. Or maybe not. Who knows? But I'll go with Cena winning. If The Rock is a participant, I will think The Rock will win, because that will be a glorious return to the ring.
Yeah.
And the thing that will kind of give Raw a shot in the arm. So that's where I'm going to go. Miz doesn't win no matter what. Sorry.
I guess I'm different on that. No, I'm not the biggest fan of Miz, but I think he's right. I definitely agree with him. If they make it a triple threat, I think The Rock will win it. I mean, I think that's just the way to do it. And I think it's a smart way to do it. Because he hasn't been wrestling since, I think, 7 years, since WrestleMania 20. However, even if he is the special guest referee, I'm picking Miz to win it. And the reason being is, I think it'd be very advantageous, and I know it's kind of a shot at Miz, but if they keep the belt on Miz, and they do some weird thing where Cena gets mad at The Rock, and he's the referee, or whatever, and Miz still wins, that allows Cena to kind of take his frustrations out on The Rock, and now you have The Rock versus Cena as a sort of semi-main event program.
Semi-main event?
Well, okay, it'd be the main event. As far as I'm concerned, it would be the main event.
It already is the main event. You haven't wrestled.
I hate putting it above the WWE title, but it's The Rock and Cena.
Right.
So yeah, triple threat, Rock wins, but anything else, I think Miz will win it, because I think it would allow Cena and The Rock to do a one-on-one promo, or one-on-one program.
And as a side note on that, I just want to say, Cena, I hope, Cena has more pressure on him come this Monday. We're filming this March 25th, Friday, before the big Cena, The Rock,
and the Miz confrontation.
Right, confrontation in the ring, live in person.
In Chicago.
John Cena has a lot of pressure on him that night, because you have got to step up. It's one thing to do it without The Rock being in the ring.
Yeah.
And I will give John Cena credit. He's done a great job of it so far, without The Rock being there. Okay? But it's a totally different ballgame when The Rock is in the ring. I don't know this for a fact. I've never been in the ring with The Rock. Dang it. But you've got to know it's true. And I hope to God John Cena can... It's true. It's true. I hope to God John Cena can step up and knock one out of the park, because that'll be a big boost for this WrestleMania if he can. And I wish him good luck in that, because he's going to need it.
Yeah, because so far in the feud, I have to admit, I think The Rock kind of owns him. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. That is our WrestleMania matchups, and hopefully I'll do better than the last time we did a WrestleMania prediction. On to TNA, and one thing in particular that was really disappointing. Victory Road had a really lame main event, and the crowd even chanted bullshit. And it involved Jeff Hardy and Sting. And of course Sting came back, and of course we talked about how Sting won the belt, which we were in favor of. They had a rematch, and it looked really odd because Jeff Hardy was late on his entrance, and he was pretty far gone, it looked like. And
rumored to be very out of it the whole night. He even showed up late for the pay-per-view.
They were wondering where he was the whole night, supposedly. And of course Bischoff came in through the ring right before their match, and it looked like he said something to Jeff Hardy, and of course he made it a no DQ and all this other stuff. I don't know if he was buying him time or what he was telling Jeff Hardy, but it was a really quick end, because after Jeff was kind of playing to the crowd a little bit, all of a sudden, Sting's getting some punches in. Jeff looked like he was kind of out of it, like he wasn't, it didn't look like he was selling quite right, maybe I'm wrong, but it didn't look like he was selling right to me anyway. And then Sting, of course, just yanked him in, Stinger death drop, boom, pin. And it looked like a really rough pin, too, like he was really waiting on, or getting his weight
on. It looked
on.
like Jeff Hardy was wanting to come out of the pin, and Sting was just like, nope, you're not going to.
Yeah. And then at the very end, when the crowd's chanting, bullshit, bullshit, he was like, I agree. So, and that is the little incident that the internet's been buzzing about.
Right. And I saw this, and I was very disappointed. And a lot of wrestling fans were. I've watched some videos on YouTube from like radio shows and listened to the fans complain, and it's worthy. I mean, they're right. This was very, 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 very WCW-ish. Very WCW-ish. Totally unprofessional, which makes it WCW-ish. Yeah,
the bad kind of WCW.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just messed up how Sting is involved with these organizations that do this kind of thing. And one point that was made vividly clear by the radio guys that I listened to was the way the guys in the back who bust their asses and are so talented, and there's a lot of talent in TNA, and they've got to sit by and watch this and take the brunt of fans' reaction for it. The whole organization does. Not just Jeff Hardy, not just Sting, not just Bischoff, not just Hogan. The whole organization does. And that's what makes it bad for TNA.
Yeah.
Is you've got so much talent in the back that's doing so well. But yet you have crap like this from a guy who we have stated before, and many people have stated before, why are you hiring Jeff Hardy to begin with his legal troubles?
Much less putting the belt on him, too.
Exactly. We've questioned that, and we're not the only ones, I know.
Yeah, and I dare say this, and some of my friends will probably try to kick my ass for saying this. I am not the biggest John Cena fan, but the one thing I'll always give him credit for is he keeps clean. And he's always been professional. And here's Jeff Hardy, who is talented as hell, constantly gets into trouble. He constantly gets drugged up or drunk or whatever he is, and shows up late. And on top of that, TNA puts him in a match with Sting, even though he's that messed up, when they could have just said, boom, you're out. We'll put Anderson in instead.
Right, exactly.
You could have given the fans what you wanted, given them at least a decent main event, give them Anderson or give them RVD, or make it a triple threat, whatever. Instead, you're making your company look bad because he's all drugged up and stuff, and you're not delivering a solid main event. And B, you're endangering Sting's life in the middle of the ring. You don't know. He could have done something like injured Sting's neck or something.
Yeah, you could have done so many more. And see, you can look at this and spin this and say, well, this isn't TNA's fault. This is Jeff Hardy showing up the way he was, and them having to do what they had to do. Bullshit.
Yeah.
You could have changed the card around, had Anderson and, because from what I understand, Anderson and RVD went to a no decision. Really? Really? That's stupid to begin with anyway. But you could have had them go to a decision and had that guy go on to wrestle Sting.
It would have been an easy storyline fix.
Oh, easy.
Easy.
And you could have came out and been real about it. You could have said, you know what? You could have had Bischoff come out and say, you know what, Jeff Hardy fans, we apologize. Yeah. Jeff Hardy either didn't show up or showed up in no condition to wrestle. So we're going to give you a main event that's worthy of the money that you paid.
Exactly.
And worthy of the money that the pay-per-view buyers paid.
Paul Heyman would have done that.
Exactly.
He'd come out and said, hey, this is what happened.
Vince McMahon probably would have done
Vince
that.
probably would have done it too.
He would have probably came out to the ring and owned it. And that's all you had to do. And the fans wouldn't have been pissed off. Nobody would have. I wouldn't have been. I'd have been like, all right, cool. At least they did the right thing and put a main event match at the end worthy of the money that we paid. But the way you handled it, and see, that's part of the problem. That's part of why we say it was unprofessional. Is because it was handled the wrong way. You could have put Anderson or RVD out there to face Sting and just had a regular match. And with Anderson or RVD against Sting, you're going to have a hell of a match that way. But that's what we're talking about when we say it was done unprofessionally.
Yeah.
When I first looked at it, I said, well, it wasn't really TNA's fault. And the more we got to talking about it, it's like, you know what? It kind of was. Because if that's the way you're going to handle business, you're not going to be in business. Period.
No way. And it's sad because I love TNA and they keep doing this stuff.
And what did we say about having the impact that was in North Carolina was awesome.
Yeah.
Just the environment and the crowd and the arena was awesome. Then you go back and you do a pay-per-view at the Impact Zone. Really? I mean, that's just, you should be having pay-per-views in different cities, in different arenas. Leave the Impact Zone for Impact. Where does this leave Jeff Hardy? Apparently out in the cold. But you don't hear me bitching.
No,
I'm not going to complain.
It's almost like they buried him in Impact. He's like, here's what's left of Jeff Hardy. He throws the belt away.
Yeah. Well, that's the way it should be in my eyes.
It should be, yeah. Which leads us to the uncomfortable question of the future of TNA. Where do they go from here? At the rate that they're going, and I hate to say it, but if they keep making mistakes like this, especially being at the ratings that they are anyway, I don't think TNA is going to be around probably past 2 years from now. Mm-hmm. That may be a generous number, but it's just, here you are fighting WWE for the top dog spot, and Vince is not going to give up the top dog spot in the wrestling world. And some of my friends will probably harp on me because, I tend to criticize TNA more than WWE, even though WWE does do some stupid crap. The thing is, WWE is at the top of the mountain.
Yeah, WWE can afford to.
Yeah.
They don't really have to worry about it as much as, especially stupid things like this.
Yeah, and if they had any drug problems, things like that, boom, just write them out and do another match. Give the fans what they paid to see. So I'm really worried about it because I don't see them, if they keep it up, the unprofessionalism and just lack of logic, I guess is the phrase I'm looking for, but they're not going to be around much. They need to step it up. Especially, you have Bischoff, for Christ's sake. He's a smart guy. Or maybe get rid of Russo, maybe. I don't know.
Haven't we said that before?
Yeah, we've said that before.
Somewhere. We've said that before somewhere.
So
stupid shit like they did the other night, you're not going to have a future. You're not that established. WCW wasn't that established. No. And WCW was had a lot larger and more loyal and more solid fan base than TNA does. A lot more. They did stupid mistakes like this, and look where it got them. So,
don't have history repeat itself.
Yeah, exactly. Learn from history, don't repeat it. I believe that this will cap episode 38 on a fairly somber note. Episode 39 is coming up. We will have, with the Hall of Fame of 2011 class coming on soon, we are going to do our own selections for the greatest Hall of Fame classes of all time. There really haven't been that many, maybe 10, but we're going to knock down our top 3 and give you our pick for the top Hall of Fame class of all time. And with that being said, I do believe that we are done! None of it being utilized. Well, strike that comment. Edit that out.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of talent in TNA.